Slavery, a system where individuals are considered property and forced to labor without their consent, has cast a long shadow over human history. From the earliest civilizations to the modern era, this brutal institution has existed in various forms, leaving an indelible mark on societies across the globe. In the ancient world, slavery was not merely widespread but often considered an integral part of economic, social, and even religious life. Ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, witnessed the rise of complex societies that relied heavily on slave labor. The powerful empires of Egypt and Babylonia, with their monumental architecture and thriving economies, depended on vast numbers of slaves to maintain their grandeur. Slavery was also deeply ingrained in the social fabric of ancient Greece and Rome, where it played a pivotal role in shaping their respective cultures and economies. The prevalence of slavery in these ancient civilizations varied considerably, influenced by factors such as geographic location, economic systems, and cultural beliefs. While some societies, like Sparta, developed highly militarized systems reliant on slave labor, others, like Athens, exhibited a more nuanced approach with slaves engaged in a wider range of occupations. Despite these variations, slavery remained a pervasive feature of the ancient world, impacting the lives of millions and shaping the course of history. The study of ancient slavery offers valuable insights into the human condition, revealing both the darkest impulses of our nature and the remarkable resilience of the human spirit. By examining the experiences of those who lived under the yoke of slavery, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of power, inequality, and the struggle for freedom. Moreover, exploring the historical roots of this oppressive institution can shed light on contemporary forms of slavery and human trafficking, reminding us that the fight for human dignity and equality remains an ongoing struggle. The pathways into slavery in the ancient world were varied and often interconnected, reflecting the complex social and economic dynamics of the time. Warfare, a constant feature of ancient societies, served as a primary source of slaves. Victorious armies routinely enslaved conquered populations, transforming prisoners of war into valuable commodities to be traded or exploited for their labor. Debt bondage, another widespread practice, ensnared individuals and families who found themselves unable to repay loans or meet their financial obligations. Creditors could seize debtors and their families as collateral, forcing them into servitude until their debts were settled. This system often led to generational slavery, trapping families in a cycle of poverty and exploitation that spanned generations. Birth represented a third significant pathway into slavery. In many ancient societies, the children of enslaved individuals inherited their parents' status, condemning them to a life of servitude from the moment they were born. This hereditary aspect of slavery ensured a constant supply of laborers while perpetuating social and economic inequalities. Beyond these primary avenues, other factors could also lead to enslavement. Criminal activities such as theft or fraud could result in enslavement as a form of punishment. In some cases, individuals might even sell themselves or their children into slavery out of desperation, hoping to escape extreme poverty or famine. The diverse pathways into slavery highlight the precariousness of freedom in the ancient world, where individuals could be stripped of their liberty due to circumstances beyond their control. The roles and responsibilities of slaves in the ancient world varied considerably, encompassing a wide range of occupations and skill levels. While popular imagination often associates slavery with backbreaking agricultural labor, the reality was far more nuanced. Slaves could be found in virtually every facet of ancient life, from domestic service and agriculture to mining, manufacturing, and even highly specialized professions. Domestic slavery was particularly common, with slaves serving as cooks, cleaners, gardeners, and personal attendants in the households of wealthy families. Large estates and agricultural operations relied heavily on slave labor for tasks such as plowing, planting, harvesting, and tending to livestock. In urban centers, slaves worked in workshops, factories, and construction sites, contributing to the production of goods and infrastructure. The skills and education of slaves also varied widely. Some slaves possessed specialized skills such as craftsmanship, accounting, or even medicine, making them highly valuable to their owners. Literate slaves might serve as scribes, tutors, or even administrators, managing their owners' affairs. However, it is crucial to remember that even skilled slaves remained legally defined as property, subject to the whims of their owners and denied basic human rights. The diverse roles and responsibilities of slaves in the ancient world challenge simplistic notions of slavery as solely consisting of unskilled agricultural labor. The reality was far more complex, with slaves occupying a wide range of positions and contributing to various aspects of ancient economies and societies. Understanding this diversity is crucial for comprehending the multifaceted nature of ancient slavery and its impact on the lives of millions. Despite the diversity of their roles, slaves in the ancient world endured a harsh reality of servitude, characterized by grueling labor, the constant threat of punishment, and the denial of basic human rights. Forced to work long hours under often brutal conditions, slaves faced the constant risk of injury, disease, and even death. Their lives were governed by the whims of their owners, who held absolute power over their well-being and fate. Punishments for perceived infractions or attempts to escape could be severe, ranging from whippings and beatings to mutilation or even death. The fear of such retribution served as a powerful tool of control, discouraging resistance and enforcing compliance. However, despite the risks, slaves throughout history have demonstrated remarkable courage and resilience in resisting their enslavement. Acts of resistance took various forms, from individual acts of defiance, such as sabotage or work slowdowns, to collective efforts, including uprisings and rebellions. One of the most famous slave revolts in antiquity was the Third Servile War, led by the gladiator Spartacus in ancient Rome. While ultimately unsuccessful, this rebellion demonstrated the potential for organized resistance and terrified the Roman elite, highlighting the inherent instability of a society built on forced labor. The harsh reality of servitude in the ancient world serves as a stark reminder of the inhumanity of slavery. Despite the occasional glimmers of hope offered by manumission or social mobility, the vast majority of slaves endured a life of toil, deprivation, and fear. Their experiences underscore the importance of recognizing and challenging all forms of exploitation and oppression, both past and present. Section 5. Glimmers of hope, manumission, and social mobility. Amidst the brutality and oppression of ancient slavery, glimmers of hope emerged in the form of manumission, the act of granting freedom to a slave. While relatively uncommon, manumission offered a potential pathway out of servitude, allowing former slaves to regain their liberty and pursue new opportunities. The motivations behind manumission varied, ranging from acts of piety or gratitude to economic considerations or even romantic love. In some instances, slaves might earn their freedom through hard work, loyalty, or by purchasing their liberty with savings accumulated over time. Others might be granted manumission as a reward for exceptional service, such as fighting bravely in battle or displaying remarkable talent in a particular field. Occasionally, slave owners might free their slaves in their wills, motivated by a sense of guilt or a desire to secure a positive legacy. While manumission represented a significant life change, the transition from slavery to freedom was rarely seamless. Former slaves often faced social stigma and discrimination, limiting their opportunities for advancement. Despite these challenges, many freed individuals managed to build new lives for themselves, establishing businesses, acquiring property, and even rising to positions of influence within their communities. The possibility of manumission, however rare, offered a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness of ancient slavery. It served as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring desire for freedom. Moreover, the experiences of freed slaves demonstrate that even within the confines of an oppressive system, individuals could find ways to resist, persevere, and ultimately reclaim their agency. Section 6. The decline of slavery in the ancient world. Shifting economic and social forces. The decline of slavery in the ancient world was a complex and gradual process, influenced by a confluence of factors rather than a single cataclysmic event. Economic shifts, evolving social norms, and the spread of new religious ideologies all contributed to the gradual erosion of slavery as an institution. However, it is crucial to note that the decline of slavery in antiquity did not equate to its complete disappearance. Rather, it marked a shift towards alternative forms of labor and a reimagining of social hierarchies. One significant factor contributing to the decline of slavery was the changing nature of warfare. As empires expanded and stabilized, large-scale conquests which once provided a steady influx of slaves became less frequent. This decline in the supply of new slaves led to a gradual increase in the cost of slave labor, making it less economically viable compared to other forms of labor. The rise of Christianity also played a role in challenging the moral foundations of slavery. While early Christian texts did not explicitly condemn slavery, they emphasized the equality of all people in the eyes of God, a message that resonated with both slaves and some slave owners. Christian emperors in the late Roman Empire enacted laws that, while not abolishing slavery outright, aimed to improve the treatment of slaves and provide them with greater legal protections. The decline of slavery in the ancient world was a long and uneven process, varying considerably across different regions and societies. While traditional chattel slavery may have waned, new forms of coerced labor such as serfdom emerged to fill the void. Understanding the complexities of this decline is crucial for appreciating the enduring legacy of slavery and its continued presence in various forms throughout history. Section 7. Legacies of Slavery Shaping Societies and Laws. The legacy of ancient slavery continues to resonate in the modern world, shaping our societies, laws, and understanding of human rights. The echoes of this ancient institution can be seen in the persistence of racial prejudice, the struggle for economic justice, and the ongoing fight against human trafficking and forced labor. The legal codes and philosophical treatises of ancient Greece and Rome, which grappled with the ethics and logistics of slavery, continue to influence modern legal thought. The concept of natural law, which emerged in part from debates about the morality of slavery, has shaped our understanding of universal human rights and the inherent dignity of every individual. However, the legacy of slavery also includes the enduring stain of racism and discrimination. The association of slavery with particular racial groups in antiquity contributed to the development of racist ideologies that justified the enslavement and exploitation of people based on their skin color. These prejudices continue to plague our world, fueling inequality and injustice. The legacy of ancient slavery serves as a stark reminder of the human capacity for both cruelty and compassion. By studying the history of slavery, we can learn from the mistakes of the past, challenge present-day injustices, and work towards building a more just and equitable future for all. Section 8. Echoes of the Past, Modern Slavery and Human Trafficking. While chattel slavery, as practiced in the ancient world, may have been formally abolished in most parts of the world, its echoes reverberate in the modern era through the insidious practices of human trafficking, forced labor, and debt bondage. Millions of people worldwide remain trapped in various forms of modern slavery, subjected to exploitation, abuse, and the denial of their basic human rights. Human trafficking, often described as modern-day slavery, involves the recruitment, transportation, or harboring of individuals through force, coercion, or deception for the purpose of exploitation. Trafficking victims are forced into various forms of labor, including domestic servitude, sex work, and agricultural work, often enduring deplorable conditions and suffering physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. Forced labor, another pervasive form of modern slavery, occurs when individuals are coerced into working against their will, often under threat of punishment or violence. Debt bondage, a modern-day echo of ancient practices, traps individuals in cycles of servitude, forced to work off debts that they have little or no hope of repaying. The persistence of slavery in its various modern forms highlights the ongoing need for vigilance, awareness, and collective action to combat this global scourge. By understanding the historical roots of slavery, recognizing its contemporary manifestations, and supporting efforts to eradicate all forms of exploitation, we can work towards a world where every individual is free to live with dignity and respect. Section 9. Conclusion: Remembering and Learning from Ancient Slavery. The institution of slavery, with its long and brutal history, stands as a stark reminder of the darker aspects of human nature. From the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia and Egypt to the Roman Empire and beyond, Slavery cast a long shadow over human history, shaping societies, economies, and leaving an indelible mark on the lives of millions. By studying ancient slavery, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of power, inequality, and the human capacity for both cruelty and compassion. We learn about the diverse pathways into slavery, the harsh realities of servitude, and the glimmers of hope offered by manumission and resistance. Moreover, exploring the historical roots of slavery sheds light on its contemporary manifestations, reminding us that the fight for human dignity and equality remains an ongoing struggle. The legacy of ancient slavery serves as a call to action, urging us to confront all forms of exploitation and oppression in our own time. By remembering the past, learning from its mistakes, and actively working to create a more just and equitable world, we can honor the memory of those who suffered under the yoke of slavery and strive to ensure that future generations will never know its horrors. The study of ancient slavery is not merely an academic exercise, it is a moral imperative. By confronting the darkest chapters of our past, we can illuminate the path towards a brighter future, one where all individuals are free to live with dignity, respect, and the full realization of their human potential.